My name is Maya, and today was one of those days that I wish I could delete from life. As if even the school corridor stiffens a little when it sees me. As if an invisible weight is hanging over me. Since morning, everything seemed to go wrong. The alarm didn't ring even after I hit snooze twice. I got late. Barely caught the bus. And the class teacher saw me and said that same old line. Maya, when will you understand? Life doesn't wait for you. I should have laughed. But even my laughter was on strike today. The math test was extremely hard. Looking at the questions, it felt like the numbers had formed a rebellion against me. My friend Sana didn't talk to me at the last minute. I don't know why. Maybe she was in a bad mood. But at that moment, it felt like the whole world was turning its back on me. During lunch break, I sat in a corner of the canteen. I usually don't sit in corners. I like the tables at the front, where I can see everything, where I feel like I'm part of some circle. But today, I wanted to hide. I didn't know from what. The teacher, the test, my friends, or even myself. The buzz of the canteen lights irritated me, as if even the lights were annoyed. Outside, the smell of wet earth came in. A slight drizzle was coming. I love the rain, but today, even its scent didn't comfort me. On the way home, I sat by the side window of the bus. The first raindrops hit the mirror, and I looked at my reflection thinking, maybe nothing is really broken. But sometimes, even the heart feels heavy. Even walking to the front door felt exhausting. Mom notices the first look of my arrival. She always knows how my day was. But today, I didn't want her to understand. Maybe I wanted no one to touch me, no one to speak, no one to crowd me, and just leave me alone with my fatigue for a while. But moms aren't like that. They draw love from the depths of their hearts, even when their child is running away. As soon as I pushed the door open, Mom asked from the kitchen. Such a soft, loving, motherly sentence. But I don't know what happened to my patience today. It had drained away like the bottom of a sugar jar. I threw my bag on the sofa and said sharply, Mom, enough. All you ever see is food, rules, and my routine. Can't you give me just a minute of space? Mom stopped. And her stop was like the ground, pausing for a moment. Her hands froze, and on her face was a quiet pain that stings more than words. She didn't get angry. She wasn't upset either. Just a slight sadness. So faint, yet piercing like an arrow in the heart. She said only, All right, Maya. I won't disturb you. And slowly walked to her room. Seeing her back for a second, I felt a small gust of guilt, like a tiny breeze passing. But ego, mood, and fatigue all stood there and stopped that breeze completely. I went to my room, closed the door, and flopped face down on the bed. I wanted to sleep, but even sleep seemed to be fighting with my anger. For a long time, I just stared at the ceiling, thinking about how broken, failing, and falling today felt. And why did I shout at Mom? I guess because moms are the people in front of whom we pour out everything. Good, bad, bitter, everything. But maybe moms can't always handle it. In the evening, I quietly stayed in my room, not checking messages, not answering calls. The house was filled with silence, a silence that isn't normal, one that watches you without eyes. Dinner came and went. Mom didn't call me even once. This was the first time she hadn't forced me. And somehow, that small gesture placed a heavy pressure on my heart. At night, I was thirsty. So I went to the kitchen. The lights were dim. Mom sat on a chair, holding a cup of tea that had gone cold. She got up before me, but today, she didn't. It felt like she had calmly decided, today Maya needs space, so I am giving it. But that space was breaking me. I quietly stood near her. She gave a small, tired smile. Drink some water, Beta. Just that. One line. No complaint, no anger, no demand. And I realized Mom's love runs so deep. She had said, "Drink some water, Beta." But behind that line, so many things were hidden, only my heart knew. I took a bottle from the fridge, pouring water into a glass. But my hand trembled slightly. A mother's silence pierces sharper than my anger. And tonight, that silence filled the whole house. A sound you cannot hear, but one that hits hard in the heart. Mom held the cup in her hands, thinking, or maybe feeling something I couldn't understand. I summoned courage and asked, sitting a little away, "Mom, haven't you slept?" She just nodded, a silent answer between yes and no. There were slight dark circles under her eyes, like she was more tired than me. I remembered my own words. "You don't give me space." But at that moment, she was giving me so much space that I was getting lost in it. The dull yellow kitchen light fell on her face. And on that face, like it had melted into a thin layer of pain. Suddenly, Mom asked, "Maya, why were you so upset today?" Her voice was soft. No pressure, no demand. Just a mother's heart, wanting to share her child's burden. I couldn't speak at first. Then slowly I said, "Mom, my day was just very bad." Mom hummed softly, rubbing the cup's handle, maybe managing her own emotions. Then she said, "A bad day happens, Beta. But when do I ever have a bad day for you?" That line went straight to the heart. Tears came to my eyes, but I held them back, as if they were trapped behind my ego. I got up slightly, moved closer, and softly said, "Mom, I didn't mean to hurt you." For the first time, Mom looked directly into my eyes. Her gaze was calm, yet so calm that it broke me. "Maya, I know, but sometimes your anger tells me how much you are hiding inside." My hands went cold. I realized Mom knows everything. No matter how much I try to hide, she sees. Mom said something that shattered all my patience. "Maya, are you okay?" "I'm asking because today your voice carried that fatigue that comes when a person is fighting with themselves." I nodded in shock. Mom smiled, but it was a bittersweet smile, hidden behind strength. "Mothers notice, Beta. We may not understand everything, but your silence tells it all." That night, I sat with Mom at the small kitchen table. We didn't speak a single extra word, but the silence was comforting. The opposite of the silence in part 1. I felt like Mom had shared all my fatigue into her heart. And I realized, fighting with Mom is never the mistake, but keeping distance is. That night, I made a promise to myself. From now on, whenever I am in pain, I won't push Mom away. She is not my problem. She is my safe place. The night breeze was slightly strong, and the kitchen light glowed dimly. After that silent moment with Mom, I went to my room. Sitting on the bed, I looked at my hands, their lines and fatigue reflecting my emotions. Then, an odd feeling came over me. I felt Mom was hiding something, and in her effort to hide it, she was also trying to tell me. I went to the sofa and saw her bag. It was slightly open. Inside, a folded envelope caught my attention. I had never noticed it before. I touched it, and a cold gust ran through me. On the envelope, something was written. As I opened it, there was a small letter. In Mom's handwriting. "Maya, if you are reading this, maybe the time has come for me to tell you the truth. Something from your childhood that I had hidden. You need to know this." My heart started racing. Had Mom really not told me until now? 1,000 questions whirled in my mind. I read the letter carefully, feeling each word as if Mom was standing right in front of me, softly speaking. At the end of the letter was a line. "Do you remember the day you came back from school and broke a little perfume bottle? Since that day, something changed. Now it's time for you to know that it wasn't just the bottle that broke. Something else did too." Alarms went off in my mind. That day's scene ran in fast forward. I came back from school, the bottle fell. and Mom's expression. But I still didn't understand. Was it just the bottle? Or something else? A mix of fear and curiosity surged inside me. I knew this letter was leading to a secret that could change Mom and my life forever. I went back to bed, holding the letter close to my heart. My mind was thinking, if Mom tells me the truth, can I forgive her? Or will my world turn upside down again? Then, a notification appeared on my phone. Maya, are you ready? My heart skipped a beat. This wasn't just a simple question. This was a turning point. I took a deep breath and, hesitating, typed, "Yes, now I'm ready."